We can start with the Mender Enterprise dashboard. This is the latest version of Mender Enterprise, and I'd like to dig into a few new features of our Enterprise offering before we go into too much depth. On the Mender Enterprise dashboard, we have a new graphical display of the software version distribution across my device fleet. This is a quick and easy way to get an idea of the health of your fleet, as well as to be able to quickly click through and find a filtered view of older devices that may need an update. The next interesting feature in Mender Enterprise is our new role-based access control system. This is a system that allows you to have a more fine-grained control of permissions and in general make your OTA workflow much more secure. The first component of the role-based access control system is per-user roles. When creating a new user, a role can be assigned to that user, which limits its potential to modify the system. There are three primary roles: full access, read-only, and CI. The CI role is intended for CI systems and is only able to do actions that are appropriate for a CI system, such as uploading new artifacts from your daily builds. Additionally, you can create custom roles within our role-based access control system. This is a mechanism to identify certain users that will only have access to certain devices. In this case, I'm limiting access to my home automation system to just a specific user that I'm going to create and assign to that role. No other users in this case will have access to my home automation system. The next feature I'd like to discuss of Mender Enterprise is our new advanced filtering that is available in the device list display. With large device fleets, it can be tricky to locate specific devices that are having issues. With the new device filtering list, this becomes much easier. In this case, we can simply create a new filter based on some piece of inventory data that we may have on this device. In this case, we'll create a quick filter based on a specific MAC address that has been reported to be having issues. Once we enter the MAC address, our device list is filtered to exactly that device, and we can take a look at all the data in the device list to help start troubleshooting this device. These filters can also be saved as what we call dynamic groups. This is essentially a group that matches a specific search criteria. In this case, you see that I'm searching for my home automation devices that are running an outdated version of the software. In this case, I've actually created this ahead of time and saved it as a group, which makes it very easy to use as a target for a deployment to make sure that my home automation system is kept up to date. We've added some new functionality to deployments within Mender Enterprise. After selecting a release and a device group, as always, we move into the Scheduling tab for the deployment. From here, you can select the start date and time for the deployment. This uses a calendar picker to allow you to select an appropriate time to actually start your deployment. Next, you'll see that we added a Retry Count to the deployment. With large device fleets, it's rare to get every single device updated immediately. You'll have intermittent issues such as power outages and that kind of thing, and it's nice to be able to retry the deployment at the deployment level just to make sure you can more easily get all your devices updated. The last feature I want to mention that's new in Mender Enterprise is related to releases and binary delta updates. Back in the Releases tab, if we look at our image 1.0 or our image 2.0, you see that the payload type is a block image of an ext4 file system, and that the image type is full file system update. With image 3.0, we can see that it is a binary delta, and that the payload is an appropriate delta image that is applied against an existing root file system. One thing to notice in this 3.0 image is that I have multiple artifacts for the same device type. This is because with the binary deltas, we actually have to know what image you're transferring from and to. In this case, we have images going from version 1 to version 3 and images going from version 2 to version 3. New functionality in this version of Mender Enterprise is that the Enterprise now intelligently figures out which binary delta to deploy based on what software each device is currently running.